After 100 days on YouTube, I only have 38 subscribers and I have never been happier this much. Look, I know what you are thinking. Everyone says you need to optimize everything, your thumbnail, your titles, your upload schedule, even the time of the schedule. You need the perfect camera, perfect niche, and the perfect content strategy before you even start. But what if I told you that's exactly what's keeping you stuck? What if the secret isn't having everything figured out, but having just one simple rule that removes all the noise? In the next 10 minutes, I'm going to break down my entire 100-day journey. First, I will reveal the one rule that changed everything and why it's the only commitment you need. Then, I will show you why I chose to optimize for fun instead of fame or channel growth. Next, I will explain how starting messy became my competitive advantage where everyone else was waiting for perfection. And I will share why every single one of those 38 subscribers felt like a personal victory to finally the anti-growth strategy that actually works on you. And here's why you should listen. I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm just someone who was stuck in planning mode for over a year, finally hit publish, and discovered something that nobody talks about, that the process itself can be more rewarding than any outcome. The one rule that changed everything. So what was this magical rule that broke me out of analysis paralysis? It's very simple. Publish one video every week, no matter what. That's it. No matter how messy the editing, no matter how amateur the thumbnail, no matter how unclear my script. Friday night at 8 p.m. something goes like anything. Here's why this works when everything else fails. When you have 50 things to optimize, you optimize nothing. But when you have one commitment, just hit publish, suddenly everything else becomes certain. Bad audio, publish anyway. Terrible lighting, publish anyway. Rambling for 10 minutes, publish anyway. Because the goal isn't perfection. It's a proof that you can actually do this thing you have been dreaming about. And here's the psychology behind it. Every time you publish, you are rewiring your brain. You are going from I am someone who thinks about making videos to someone who actually makes videos. That identity shift is worth more than any growth hack. But here's where it gets interesting. Once I had that one rule locked down, I realized I would be optimizing for completely the wrong thing. Why I optimized for fun instead of fame or channel growth. So, what was I optimizing for instead of growth? Having fun. And I know that sounds fluffy, but hears me out. Most creators burn out because they are chasing metrics that feel meaningless. Views, subscriber count, watch time, these are outcomes you can't directly control. But enjoyment, that's 100% in your hands. Here's how this played out practically. Instead of researching trending topics, I made videos about questions my friends asked me. Instead of studying the algorithm, I focused on whether I was excited to film this idea or not. If I'm excited, I will do it with all my effort. If it's not, I don't do it at all. Instead of analyzing my competition, I asked myself, am I really having fun with this process? If yes, it's more than enough for me to get started with it. And something magical happened. When I stopped trying to crack the code, I started creating from the heart. Here's what I discovered. When you optimize for enjoyment, you naturally solve the engagement problem. You are more energetic, more genuine, more willing to take creative risks. The algorithm might be a mystery, but human connection is. People can sense when you are genuinely excited about what you are sharing. But here's the problem. Optimizing for fun led me to do something that goes against every piece of YouTube advice you have ever heard. The magic of starting messy. So here's what I did that broke every YouTube rule in a book. I started with a 720p webcam. I don't even have a good camera on the phone. Used free editing softwares and zero content strategy. My first video, I didn't even know which editor to use. My thumbnails were very, very basic. I don't even know how to do that. My scripts were just bullet points I would ramble through. By every standard, I was doing the YouTube wrong. But here's what happened. Starting messy became my secret weapon. While other creators were spending weeks perfecting their first video, I was already on video number 5. While they were researching the perfect camera setup, I was learning what topics actually excites me. Every messy video taught me something that no tutorial ever could. You can't learn to swim by reading about water, right? The truth nobody tells you. Perfect is the enemy of progress. Your first video will never be good as your 50th video. Your 10th thumbnail will never compete with your 100th thumbnail. But here's the kicker. Your messy first attempts contain something your polished later work might lose. Raw authenticity. People connect with real, not with perfect. And speaking of connection, what happened next completely changed how I think about success on this platform. Why every subscriber felt like a personal victory for me. So after 100 days, I had 38 subscribers. And I know what you are thinking. That's not exactly viral success that worth talking about, right? But here's the thing that caught me completely off guard. I was genuinely excited about every single one. My first 10 subscribers, I was on cloud. My first 20, I literally felt proud. Number 38 still felt like a personal win because I don't do any marketing or sharing this in a group or like that. It's all organic. And this is where the magic happens. When you are not chasing vanity metrics, every real connection becomes meaningful. These weren't just numbers on a screen. They were real people who gave me their most precious resources, their attention. By the way, thanks for it. In a world of infinite distraction, you chose to spend your time with my content. That's not small, that's huge. I realized I would be measuring success completely from all this time. Instead of comparing myself to creators with millions of subscribers, I was celebrating the humans who actually showed up for me. Here's what I learned. External validation is a drug that never satisfies. There is always someone bigger, always a higher number to chase. But internal satisfaction, that's a renewable energy. When you can find genuine joy in serving 10 people really well, you have cracked the code that most creators never figure out. It's not about the size of your audience, it's about the depth of your impact. But wait, there is one more thing I discovered that might be the most important lesson of all. The anti-growth strategy that actually works on YouTube. So here's the final piece that ties everything together. I discovered that the best growth strategy is to stop trying to grow. I know that sounds backward, but stick with me. Every time I focused on subscriber count or goals, I got paralyzed. Every time I tried to reverse engineer viral content, I lost my own unique ones. But when I focused on one simple question, what do I want to share this week? Everything becomes natural. Here's how this plays out in practice. Instead of going from 0 to 100 straight, I learned to go from 0 to 1. Lower the entry bar for everything. Don't plan the perfect video, plan the next video. Don't wait for the ideal setup. Use what you have right now. Don't research for weeks. Start with what you already know. Because here's the truth. The gap between thinking about YouTube and actually doing YouTube is massive. But the gap between doing one video and doing 50, that's just repetition. The paradox of YouTube is that when you stop chasing growth, you actually start growing. Not just in numbers, but in confidence, in skills, in clarity about what you want to create. You become someone who finishes things instead of someone who starts them. That's worth more than any viral video because it's sustainable, it's all yours. So if you have been sitting on the sidelines, planning, and here's what I want you to take away from my messy, imperfect, absolutely worth it 100-day journey. You came here expecting another how I grew with YouTube channel story, but what you got instead was a proof that the journey itself can be more rewarding than any destination. For over a year, I was stuck in planning, waiting for the perfect condition, perfect moment, perfect setup, perfect strategy. But the only thing that changed my life wasn't a growth hack or a secret formula for viral success. It was giving myself permission to start messy. Whatever dream you have been putting off, whether it's YouTube, writing, building something, learning something new, stop waiting for permission from the universe or something. Stop waiting to feel ready. Stop waiting for the perfect moments. Because it doesn't exist. The magic isn't in having everything figured out. The magic is in taking that first imperfect step and then the next one, and then the next one. Your messy beginning is better than your perfect plan that never happens. So here's my challenge to you. What's the one thing you have been planning forever but never started? Go do the smallest version of it today. I mean today. Fill in one video on your phone, write one paragraph, send one email, build one thing. Optimize for joy over judgment and progress over perfection. The rest will all follow. Thanks for joining me in this journey. If this resonated with you, I would love to hear about your own messy beginnings in the comments. And remember, your 0 to 1 matters more than someone else 1 to 100. Now, stop watching and start doing.